Blessings and peace to you. This is SB Favor Thinking Podcast, and my name is SB Favor. How are you doing today? It is Monday, July 8th, 2024. Another wonderful day and another day to be thankful. And as I always say, if you focus on what is good, then you can project something good to happen when you focus on what is good, because there are no benefits to focusing on all the negative things that are happening around us or whatever. Focus on what is good. If you're out there traveling about today, make sure you say a prayer. Make sure you stay focused by just paying attention to what is important and stop being on your phone, because being on your phone in the public is a distraction. You are supposed to be paying attention to what is going on. I remind you of these things because I care. So focus on what is good and pay attention out there. If you would like to give to the podcast, you can give at Cash App, $SB Favor, or you can give at Venmo at SB Favor. Once again, if you would like to give to the podcast, you can give at Cash App, $SB Favor, or you can give at Venmo at SB Favor. Yes, you can. Give. Thank you for all your support and your donations. Well, this episode, I'm going to talk about conquering discouragement. Yes, conquering discouragement. Being discouraged, unfortunately, it can happen to anybody. Just simply being discouraged. Sometimes we all have experienced different types of failures. We all have experienced different types of setbacks. And some of us, unfortunately, sometimes have sat in a place of self-doubt. And you don't have to. Okay? Yes, we are human, and we all are susceptible to many things because we are human, right? But what I am saying is this: you don't have to sit in discouragement. Conquering discouragement is something I wanted to talk about because recently I went through something and I had to tell myself to get up. Yes, I had to tell myself recently to get up, and I have to tell myself that every single day, because anybody can be discouraged. The question I always ask myself is, why? Why? What is this? Why do I feel discouraged? I believe that we should question everything we feel. I believe that if you are feeling something, or if you are thinking about something you don't understand, journal and write it down and ask yourself, what is this and why? Don't just sit and think about something or allow yourself to feel things you are not learning about or learning to understand yourself more. Don't just allow stuff to happen and not question it. That's what I'm saying. So conquering discouragement is something we all must do. Conquering discouragement is something we all must understand the importance of. When it happens, or if it happens, we must understand what is happening. Yes, we must understand what is happening, because a couple of days ago, I was just having a conversation with someone, and all of a sudden I started feeling discouraged, and I said, what is this? What's going on here? And I said to myself, I have no reason to be sad or no reason to be discouraged about anything. So what's going on? What is happening? So during that time, of course, excuse me, for those of you that know me personally, I pray a lot. I pray about everything. So I started wondering, what is this? And in the process of wondering what is this, I started to pray. And as I started to pray, I said, you know what? I'm not going to walk around this. I had to keep telling myself that over and over, because conquering discouragement is something we all must do. I don't care where you are. I don't care where you live. I don't care how much money you got, your education. I don't care what kind of job you got. We all must conquer discouragement. Excuse me. Had to take a little drink of water real quick. Conquering discouragement comes from having the right attitude, thinking the right thoughts, and understanding what you are feeling when you feel it. If you are paying attention to what you are feeling in the moment, you will understand what is happening with yourself. It is important to understand what is going on with you. It's so easy for us to look at everybody else and say, oh, this is going on with her, this is going on with, that's going on with him or whatever. But it's important to know what is going on with you. And in a moment's time, if your thoughts change, if your emotions change, if you start feeling a certain way, question it. Ask yourself, why am I upset? Why am I sad? Why do I feel resentful? Why do I feel all these things around me? This stuff. Ask yourself that question. Because when you ask yourself that question, then you open up a door of opportunity to talk to God and learn something about yourself you never learned before. That's right. Because we all must conquer discouragement. Conquering discouragement is essentially, vitally important every day. Why? Because you never know when something is going to try to discourage you. Maintaining your thought life and questioning how you feel and staying focused on the things that give you peace and joy is important. When you are going about having your day, doing what you do, and all of a sudden your feelings start to shift, question it. Write it down. Take a look at it. Take a look at what's going on around you when it comes to your feelings. When you connect with yourself like that, then you will consistently stay in a whole mood of conquering discouragement. Because it's important for us to understand our own humanity. People seek to understand how to get education, houses, cars, money, but they never sometimes learn about themselves emotionally and spiritually. And so conquering discouragement is an in-depth lesson about you. Because when you pay attention to your feelings, when you pay attention to what you are thinking, and when you pay attention to what is happening in the moment, then you will know not to stay there. You will know that you must get up from the place of discouragement. Discouragement in your mood, feelings, mind, thoughts. Discouragement. Conquering discouragement is so important because we all must stay motivated. We all must stay inspired. We all must keep our spirit lifted. Why? Because living has to do with keeping your spirit lifted. Being downward is just down. And that's not the position of God. So why should it be the position of you? God is not down. When you look at the trees, the ocean, and the skies, and the beauty of nature, you don't see anything being down. Yes, of course, you see the things that man has destroyed being down. Yeah, but you don't see anything that God has created being down or depressed or sad. So conquering discouragement is something that we all must do, because at any time, anyone can be discouraged. Discouragement comes to disarm you from being armed with strength, armed with power, armed with love, armed with peace. We are supposed to walk armed with power. Power to love ourselves, power to be confident, power to be assured, power to have faith and believe. So discouragement comes to disarm when we are supposed to be armed with all of the things I just mentioned. Conquering discouragement is something you must look at. Being honest, because if you are in denial, oh, I'm okay, ain't nothing wrong with me, I'm good. No, you're not. Be honest. Because if you are honest, God will smile and help you even quicker when you are honest. But when you keep saying, I'm good, I'm fine, ain't nothing wrong with me, you smiling around people and you being fake, but in secret, you all in pieces, it's because you're walking in pride and you're not being honest so that you can conquer discouragement. When you are honest, you will conquer discouragement because God will help you conquer it. We have to reframe our perspectives to shift from a negative self-talk to a more empowering self-talk when we are in the midst of conquering discouragement. We have to celebrate our progress and not focus on our setbacks, because when we focus on our setbacks, when we focus on our failures, of course, that's enough to feel discouraged. So celebrate your progress, no matter what it is, no matter how small it is. Celebrate your progress and thank God for it. Have a spirit of gratitude about it. Stay connected to people that speak life. Stay connected to people that speak positive. Stay connected to people that can understand the importance of speaking life. Because some people just speak negative. Now, I'm not judging them. If that's how they want to live, that's how they want to speak, that's on them. But some people, every time you say one thing out of your mouth, it's always negative, 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 negative. And you don't want that. Because you want to stay in a zone of conquering discouragement. Because you don't know when you will have to step up and do this. If you haven't already. I'm saying this to you because of what happened to me. I had to tell myself, no, I will not walk around discouraged. I was so discouraged one day, I was going to delete every episode of this podcast. I am telling you the truth. I was so discouraged. Because in that moment when I was discouraged, these thoughts were coming to me about all kinds of negative things. And I kept saying, wait a minute, where is these thoughts coming from? These are not my thoughts. I know where these thoughts are coming from because this is not God. So who is it? This is not God telling me this. All these negative thoughts, these are not my thoughts. I don't own these thoughts. Where are these thoughts coming from? I know it wasn't God. So I said, that's some kind of dark spirit. That's some kind of, look, that wasn't me. So I prayed and I said, God, help my mind. Help my mind, because you got to know in the moment where you are and what is happening and how you're thinking and what you're feeling. You got to know what is happening with you. It's easy to pay attention to everybody else, but do you know what is happening with you? You got to know. Stay connected with people that support you. Stay connected to people that speak life over you. Practice self-care, prioritizing good habits to boost your mood to stay resilient. Learn from your setbacks not to be discouraged. When you have a setback, just learn from it. If you make a mistake, just learn from it. Learn from everything you do, because you want to know what is beneficial for you. You want to know what to do, what not to do. And as you learn from your setbacks and mistakes, start visualizing your success. Yes, as you learn from your setbacks and failures and mistakes, visualize your success. Create more goals for yourself. But in the process of creating more goals and learning from your setbacks and visualizing your success, make sure you celebrate your progress. Find inspiration. Find it. That's right. Seek it out. Find ways to be inspired, to stay inspired every single day. It's like drinking a glass of water. Because if you don't drink water, you will be thirsty, and it doesn't feel good to be thirsty. So drink water of inspiration every day. I'm saying it this way because I have such a passion about this topic because of what I went through. I'm telling you, you have to recognize your own thoughts and your own feelings in the moment so that you can stay in a zone of conquering discouragement. And not just discouragement, but there are other things you have to conquer. But if you are paying attention to yourself and you are doing what you need to do for yourself, you will reframe your perspectives. You will celebrate the small wins. You will stay connected to the people that speak life. You will practice self-care and visualize success because you want to stay in a zone of conquering discouragement. Conquering discouragement is something God will help you to do. I'm going to say it again. Conquering discouragement is something God will help you to do. You don't have to do it alone. See, there are so many things in this life we turn to, thinking that all these things that we get access to with money and having houses, cars, and all that, it's beautiful to be successful. But what I'm saying is this: there are some things in life only God can do. He's given us the ability to do a lot of things, but there is only some things God can do. And God will help you with conquering discouragement. Because if you're walking around down and down and down and down, you don't want that. You don't want that. You want to be encouraged. You want to be focused. You want to have the fight back attitude in your daily life. Yes. The fight back attitude is to question what is necessary for you to be the best you can be. When something happens and it takes you into a negative place, question it. Don't just sit there. Question it. Because you can be the best you can be. And you can celebrate your progress. And even though some things sometimes may seem difficult to get through, you still can keep your head up as you walk through it. Because you must stay in the zone of conquering discouragement. Because you don't know when you could be discouraged. What I experienced was a lesson. So this is why I am saying this to you today. And for the rest of my life, for the rest of my physical life on this earth, I must tell myself, and I must tell my daughter, and I must tell my relatives and friends and whoever, I must tell them, you must understand how to conquer discouragement. You must. Because you have to stay armed with peace, armed with your power, armed with strength, armed with all the things that make you the best you. Because discouragement comes to disarm you, and you don't want to be disarmed. Please hear what I'm saying. I laugh a little bit and smile, while I'm talking about this. But on a serious note, this is a serious topic. Because I come in contact with people sometimes that are discouraged, and I have to tell them, no, you don't have to be down. But then I tell somebody else that, and then all of a sudden, when it happens to me, I have to tell myself that. No, question, what is this? So please, I hope that you are receiving something from what I am saying, because we all must stay in the zone of conquering discouragement. You do not want to be caught off guard, having a good day, and all of a sudden somebody says something or something happens, and now all of a sudden you're discouraged. No. Because you don't have to be. Yes, you are human. You're going to feel things. Yes, sometimes your emotions will shift. But what I am saying to you is to understand what is happening to you in the moment. Understand what you are thinking, what you are doing, what you are feeling emotionally. Understand this. Because of a lot of us are paying attention to other people and what they're doing, but you're not paying attention to yourself. So please, stay encouraged. Stay focused on what is good. Make sure you understand the importance of learning from your setbacks. Practicing self-care to prioritize good habits to boost your resilience. Focus on asking questions when you feel a certain way. Ask yourself. Talk to God. Stay connected to friends. Reframe your perspective. And recognize the feelings in the moment. Challenge what you are thinking. Don't let negativity control your mind. Maintain a positive attitude. Practice gratitude. Take action. Be kind to yourself. Focus on what you can learn, not what you didn't learn. Find your purpose. Focus on your purpose and walk in resilience. And if you feel yourself being weak to a certain degree, make sure you call somebody that can pull you up again to stay strong, because guess what? You wasn't created to isolate. Yes, there are times we want to be to ourselves, and there's nothing wrong with that. But guess what? There's a sister, there's a brother, there's somebody that's stronger than you. Call them up and tell them you need to boost up. Call them up and tell them you need prayer. Call them up. Yes. Because you must stay in the zone of conquering discouragement. So this episode, like I said, it's personal. It's personal. But I'm here, and I want y'all to be encouraged, focused, and lifted up. And I thank you for supporting SB Favorite Thinking Podcast. I thank you for your feedback. I thank you to all of you that send me messages and tell me to keep going. I appreciate you so much, because so many times I have felt like just throwing in the towel. And when I say throwing in the towel, not giving up, but just cutting down on some things when it comes to my schedule, because it takes work to do this podcast, but I'm going to keep going. And I know that what I am doing is not in vain. things that I have said, things that God has allowed me to say, is not in vain. I know it's not in vain. I know it's somebody out there that is listening to this. You are inspired, you are motivated, you are encouraged. And people always tell me, they say, thank you. Thank you for saying what you said. I needed that. And so it's words like that that keep me going. And so I appreciate you. And for those that constantly give to the podcast, I want to just say thank you personally to you again, because you are the reason why this podcast exists. So thank you for your support, and share this podcast with others, because somebody needs to be encouraged. Life happens to all of us, and in the moment's time, we all have to stay positive, and we have to, yes, help each other. So thank you for listening. And if you need to reach me, you can reach me at sbfavor@yahoo.com via email. You can also find me on Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Amazon Audible. If you Google me, you will find SB Favorite Thinking Podcast everywhere. I am wherever you listen to podcasts. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click like, leave me some feedback, and support this podcast by giving. I appreciate you so much. And please, once again, share this podcast with others. You have a good day.